Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I'm answering this question that has to do with ranking in the 3-pack map. Reason why I'm doing this video today, me and a friend were talking about this. This person was asking me what they could do to help their client rank higher in the 3-pack map. I think their client, they were ranking on page 2 of the map. If you click through to the 3-pack map results, which is if you Google something in local, like a city plus, a service or a product or something, and the first page results, there will be a map right at the top of Google. Okay, and if you click through to that, it will go to the regular Google map results. Okay, so this person that they were talking about, this business, they were on page 2. So here's a couple things I was looking at, and I double checked this. I checked in other cities, and again I checked across different industries, and I looked at different things. Okay, so to reiterate too, the map algorithm that ranks things in the Google map, which you see at the top of page 1 in Google results, okay, that algorithm is a different ranking algorithm than the one you see for regular search results. Okay, so if you Google something, we'll say like Los Angeles chiropractor, okay, you're gonna see the rankings in the map are different than the rankings in the regular organic results. They're two different ranking algorithms. And the reason why that is because the map is essentially a navigation device. And you have to keep this in mind. And it will all start to make sense, and I'll explain exactly what I'm talking about. But keep in mind that Google Maps, the 3-pack map that's inserted onto search results on the first page, is a navigation tool. It's a driving aid. It's basically, how can we get people to drive somewhere and give them the highest degree of confidence that there's going to be a good result. So just like they're doing with regular search results, like how can we give them, the users, the searchers, the best results in regular organic results? How can we give them the highest confidence, best results in Google Maps if they're to go in their car and drive to this location? Because that's essentially what Google Maps is. And if you think of it like this, it will all make a lot more sense. Okay, the number one thing that I hear from a lot of people, and sounds logical, they say, if you get more Google reviews, will that help your map ratings? Okay, Google reviews are just one data point out of many. A few things that make a big difference are proximity to you, the searcher, or to the city that you're searching for, and more on that in just a second. Relevancy, is this going to be a business that you're trying to look for? And confidence that this is a good business that they're going to send you to, as far as confidence in their reviews, their reputation, making sure that information is correct. All these things are going to play a role. But what I have found is that Google reviews aren't a make or break for the 3-pack map. And you'll often see this in 3-pack map results. You will often see that there are results in that top 3 that might have 1 review. They might have 3 reviews. There might be people in there with 3.5 stars rating. It's not necessarily all the people that have 50 reviews and they're all 5 stars get to the top. One thing that you have to realize is Google's knowledge graph on your business as an entity. The knowledge graph of Google gets that information from all over the web, not just from reviews on Google. They're looking at reviews on Yelp, they're looking at reviews on YP.com and Better Business Bureau and Facebook, and let's say if you're a realtor, they're looking at Zillow and Trulia and Realtor. And if you're an HVAC, I think there's a site, it's like localac.net or something like that, I don't know. If you're like a car mechanic, they might be looking at, it's Mechanics Friend, Mechanics Pal or something like that. they'll be looking at different sites like that. They'll be looking at any different type of site which can collect a review that's in your category. I know for SEOs there's tons of them like Clutch and UpCity, Web Designers. They should appear there, okay? But every profession has these different ones. You know, if you're a doctor, it'd be something like Health Grades. So Google is looking not just at Google reviews, but they're looking at the overall picture around the web. One thing that was really interesting, I looked at this when we were talking about the knowledge graph. Bing actually has, for my company, like all the social icons displaying in the social graph, in their knowledge graph, but Google doesn't. It's an interesting thing. Doesn't mean that they don't have them on file, it just means that they don't show them. Just because they don't show you some information doesn't mean that they don't have it in their file of the connections of your business, your entity, your company as a thing. It has all these different connections, and these different review sites are a part of that. So don't focus strictly on Google My Business reviews, okay? Make sure that you're getting reviews all over the place in different places that would be a lead generation site for your type of industry. So if you're a contractor, okay, be getting reviews on Home Advisor, Angie's List, Facebook, you know, what else is there? House, all these different ones, okay? Make sure that you're getting all those too, okay? Next thing to think about, there's different types of search queries. There's a search query, let's say for example that you're searching for auto repair, okay? We'll just use that one. You can search auto repair, and then the map will give you one set of results. You could say auto repair your city, and it will give you a different set of results. Or you could say auto repair near me, and it will give you a different set of results. Okay, so it depends on how people are searching for these things that it's gonna influence what shows in the map. Now, if you use near me, it's gonna use the geolocation in your phone or your computer to show whatever's around you, okay? So that's gonna be one set of results. Now, if you're using a city, if you're saying like car repair, auto repair Los Angeles, then it's going to show you things that are close to the heart of the city. This happens pretty much for any type of search, any industry in the city. So if you have one piece of advice for sure, if you want to rank in the map for any type of city searches, get a location that's as close to downtown of that city. If it's a major city, then it's a big thing. If it's a smaller city, you know, and you have less competition, maybe it's not a big of a deal. But most of these things we're talking about high competition, but if the closer you can get to downtown, the more advantageous it's going to be for you if you really want to rank high in the map, okay? That's just another data point, and it's just another thing saying our confidence score, if somebody's searching for this city and this service, if they're close to the city, then that's going to be more convenient for people, okay? So near me, just the generic, and then with the city, okay? Biggest way that you could do it is just put it in the middle of the city. I know that's not feasible for every type of business. Commercial rates are going to vary in a lot of different cities. So maybe it's cheap, maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's viable, maybe it's worth your time, maybe it's not. But another thing that is a big important thing here, we're talking about commercial space. Google is really looking for a storefront. They're looking for commercial space. If you work out of your home, it's going to be a disadvantage. I hate to say that, but it is. If you have a business that has a commercial space there, okay, and most of the other types of businesses that you're seeing rank up at the top, click through and look at the actual 360. The Google 360, the Street View, the Google Car. The Google Car is going around and taking these photos, and I think Bing has their own version of it too, I don't know. But they're going around taking these photos of all these streets and all these businesses every couple of years. It's not just for their health, they're doing it because they're trying to improve their maps product, okay? And one of the ways is people can see the thing before they go to it. Now, they can also detect things like the addresses. They see the addresses on the wall, okay, on the signage. You're looking for your signage. If you have a commercial space or a storefront, and by the way, this is why you click on captchas that say, pick out all the storefronts. you're training the computer AI to figure this out too, okay? But they're looking for your sign. Why do you upload your logo to your website? Why is the logo in the schema data? Why is the logo in your Google My Business? They're looking for that, okay? They're looking for a sign that has the logo that's on your website, that's on your Google My Business, on a sign outside this address that you say is your business, okay? Now if they see that, it's a commercial space, looks like a business, it's got the logo on the outside, Google Cars, has seen it, that's gonna help. And if you're downtown or close to downtown, that's gonna help. And if you have a couple of reviews and you've got reviews all around on different websites, that's gonna help. These are the things that really add up into ranking in maps. Now there's another thing that you could do too. You wanna take photos of the inside of your business, of your workspace, of your office, okay? If you work from home, maybe it'd be a little bit different. But most of you out there, you have the need to rent a commercial space. I know most of the contractors that I know, even if they're smaller outfits, they need to rent a commercial space. It's just, good for them to do. But if you have Google 360 photographer come out and they do a 360 of the inside of the office, it basically, when people go on Google Maps, they can click on that and they can actually click and then go inside and they can see this, your work area or your office or your headquarters. And these things really make a big difference because Google knows now this is a legit business. They know it for a fact. They have a 360. If we send people to this address in Google Maps, which is what the 3-pack at the top is, it's not just a thing for lead gen for the lucky few. It's a driving app. If people want to go to this address, and there's going to be a legit business there because, hey, they took the time to hire a Google 360 photographer and they stitched together this tapestry of the inside of their office or the inside of their headquarters. And now we know for a fact that they're legit, so we should push them a little bit higher in the map. These are things that make a difference. Now, Google's 360 photographer, not super expensive. Renting a commercial space, that might be a little bit more expensive. Okay, it depends. Last thing I want to talk about is if you do move a location or if you do have a location, you want to make sure that you have what's called citations, which is like, sometimes they're called NAP, sometimes they're called NAP-W, but the most important part is that all the sites that your website is mentioned on or listed on, you want to make sure that the name of the business is correct, the address is consistent, the phone number is the same, and the website links back to your website, okay? So some of the major ones, obviously we got like Facebook, Yelp, LinkedIn company page, your Google My Business, because that's what it's going to go by, is the Google My Business, whatever you have there. That is the one that you should go by to match everything up, okay? But all the different ones, like I said, if you're a contractor, home advisor, house, Angie's List, these are, Thumbtack maybe. But if you are any other type of business, you're going to want to get those. There's also like lots of these other little ones too that you want to get, like Foursquare. Info Group is particularly useful. That feeds out to a lot of different ones. Factual, YP.com. There's tons of all different ones, okay? So there's different services that can help you make sure that all these have consistent information. Yext is one. They are a direct provider. YP Dex Media is another. They basically are companies that you can pay, and then they'll feed this information out to all these like secondary sites as well. You can also use a service like White Spark or Bright Local to manage these as well, okay, or create new NAPW citations if they're needed. So these are all things that you should do. Now, at one point in the map, when the map product was brand new, if it was kind of like whoever had the most of these would usually be the top of the map. The map has gotten a lot more nuanced and sophisticated since then, but this is still important because Google is, above all, they're trying to say, we want to have the most confidence that we're sending people to a legit business if they hop in their car and they drive there. Because if they hop in their car and they drive there from this Google Maps result, they're not going to be happy, and maybe they're going to start using Apple Maps, or maybe they're going to start using Bing Maps, unlikely. But they'll probably use Apple Maps, and we don't want that because we want to get all that data and all that information. Okay, so that's the main thing. They want to keep people using their ecosystem. And to do that, they have to give good results. And to do that, they kind of have to verify this information. Now, some people will say that, another thing I'll notice too, I see a lot of places, they've said way back in the past, that places that use what they call virtual offices like a Regus or a co-working space or something like that, or a UPS box for an address. They said, hey, we're going to crack down on this. Now, they haven't really done this, not to a large degree. I have never really seen anybody removed from this. The rule on this is if you do use a virtual office or something like that, or if you use a PO box, then the way that a Google Map or a Google My Business listing is supposed to work is your staff is supposed to be there during the hours that are listed, your business hours are listed there, in order to serve customers. Now, I've never seen anybody removed from this, and you know, this year Google Maps was a little short-handed for a little while, so I don't know if this will ever be a thing, but this is a goal that they have at some point. So the best way to go is commercial buildings, if you can, with your signage out front. I mean, that's the best. That's the best way. But using stuff like that, I mean, you could probably use it for a little while longer. I don't know how much longer. I'm sure at some point they're going to figure this out, you know, all these different ones. But a lot of people do use this as a cheat and a workaround. They absolutely do. I'm not going to deny that fact. Okay. All right. I hope this answers some questions about the Google Map and the 3-pack map and how this actually works and what the purpose is behind it. Now, hopefully you can use some of this and, you know, try and get a little bit higher up in the map. And like I said, I hate trying to rank for it, because if you are just searching for whatever's around you, it's going to be one thing. And if you drive a mile down the street, it's going to be something totally different. If you're just searching for a city and then whatever it is you're trying to rank for, you know, it's going to default to basically clustering up the people that are close to the middle of the center of town, because that's how Google understands, hey, this city, hey, the downtown of the city plus this service, here's a cluster of these types of businesses. Okay, it still kind of thinks like that. Maybe at some point it will say, here are the most worthy businesses, and we'll put those at the top because they have the most reviews. But I'll just leave you with this too. Google reviews, Google My Business reviews are still the easiest to fake. All right, I'll leave you with that. My name is John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. I'm here about every other day making videos on SEO. If you have a question, leave it in the comments below. Be happy to answer. That's all I have for now. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, getting closer every day. Let's get there. I appreciate it. Thanks. All right, that's it for now. Bye.